Today, we are diving into a piece of tech that has totally changed how we see the human eye, and I mean that literally. We're going to take a trip through 3 generations of this incredible innovation, and you'll see how each one gave doctors a faster, deeper, and way more detailed peek inside one of our most delicate organs, all without making a single cut.
All right, so here's the plan. First, we'll get a handle on the basic challenge they were trying to solve. Then, we'll walk through each of the 3 generations of this technology. And finally, we'll connect the dots and see why all these upgrades are such a massive deal in the real world.
So let's start with the big question. How in the world do you get a microscopic, layer-by-layer picture of something as fragile as the retina? Well, the answer is a technology that works kind of like an ultrasound, but there's a huge difference. It uses light instead of sound. And it's called optical coherence tomography, or just OCT for short. What it does is send a beam of near-infrared light into your eye. As that light hits all the different layers of the retina, some of it scatters back. And since each layer reflects light just a little bit differently, we can measure those reflections and build this incredibly detailed cross-sectional map.
But right away, you hit a massive roadblock. Think about it. We can time sound echoes pretty easily, right? But light? Light is on another level. The echoes of light come back almost instantly. It's so fast that trying to time the round trip to figure out depth is, well, it's pretty much impossible.
So to get around this, scientists came up with a really clever trick called low-coherence interferometry. The machine splits a single beam of light in 2. One half goes into the eye, and the other half goes to a reference mirror that's at a distance we know exactly. Then, by comparing the light that comes back from both paths, we can figure out the depth of each retinal layer with amazing precision and build that picture.
Okay, so the very first generation of this tech, what we call time domain OCT, is the one that first brought this whole concept to life. It solved that light speed problem with a really smart, if a little clunky, mechanical approach.
Here's how it worked. To scan each and every layer of the retina, that reference mirror had to physically move. It would slide into position to match the depth of the first layer, take a reading, then move to match the second layer, take another reading, and so on and so on. It was this painstaking, one layer at a time process.
Now, for its time, this was revolutionary, but that mechanical process was slow. I mean, it could only capture about 400 of those depth measurements, or what they call A scans, every single second.
So here's the bottom line. It worked, but that slowness created some pretty big problems. If a patient's eye moved even a tiny bit during the scan, the whole image would get blurry. The resolution wasn't great, and it really struggled to see any of the deeper stuff inside the eye. So, how do you get past the limits of a moving mirror? Well, the second generation didn't just tweak the first one, it completely reinvented the game. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a genuine technological leap that solved the speed problem.
And the key innovation, the genius move, was getting rid of the moving part. Spectral domain OCT ditched that movable mirror for a fixed one, and then it added a brand new, game-changing component, a spectrometer.
So instead of scanning layer by layer, STOCT uses what's called a broadband light source. It sends a whole bunch of light waves into the eye at the exact same time, lighting up all the retinal layers in a single shot. Then the spectrometer just captures all that reflected data at once. It's like going from taking individual photos to shooting a video.
Now, when the spectrometer grabs all that light, it gets back this messy, jumbled-up signal. So to make sense of it all, the system uses this powerful math tool called a Fourier transform. You can think of it like a digital prism. It takes that combined light signal and breaks it back down into all its individual parts, with each part corresponding to a specific retinal layer. And boom, you get a beautiful, high-resolution image.
So how do you possibly improve on that? Well, the latest generation, swept source OCT, took that all-at-once idea and just perfected it, pushing for even more speed and, crucially, more depth.
The big change this time is in the light source itself. Instead of a broadband source that sends out all the colors at once, swept source OCT uses this incredibly fast, tunable laser. It can rapidly sweep through a whole range of wavelengths, or colors, in just a fraction of a second.
And a huge advantage here is that it uses a longer wavelength of light, around 1050 nanometers. Why does that matter? Because that longer wavelength can push deeper into the eye's tissue. This gives doctors this unbelievably clear view of structures like the choroid. That's the vital network of blood vessels that feeds the back of the eye.
Okay, so we've got these insane increases in speed and depth. But what does that actually mean for doctors and patients? Why does this matter so much?
Let's just stop for a second and really appreciate this jump. We went from 400 scans per second in Gen 1 to around 70,000 in Gen 2, to now over 100,000 scans a second with swept source. I mean, that's not just a small improvement. It's a monumental leap that completely changes what's possible.
All that incredible speed means there's way less chance for a patient's movement to ruin the image, which gives you much crisper, cleaner pictures. It lets the doctor see a much wider area, so they can capture both optic nerve and the macula in a single scan. And, like we said, it lets them see deep down into those hidden structures, which is absolutely essential for diagnosing and monitoring a ton of serious eye diseases.
All right, so let's pull back and look at the whole journey of this technology, all 3 generations side by side.
From a clunky, moving mirror to a blazing, fast, sweeping laser, the evolution is just crystal clear. It's a relentless drive for more speed and more depth. Each generation brought faster scans, longer wavelengths to see deeper, and better resolution, giving us a clearer and clearer window into the amazing, intricate structures of the human eye.
You know, the story of OCT is such a perfect example of how just making a tool faster and more powerful can completely revolutionize an entire field of medicine. Every single one of these technological leaps opens a brand new window into the human body, and it just leaves you wondering, what are we going to be able to see next?